It's your girl Robin.
And Saeed.
Woo-woo. We are sadly no longer on the Virgin Voyages Resilient Lady. We have disembarked, but the good news is that we're still in San Juan. So, yay! What we wanted to do, we wanted to come to you to talk about our last night dining experience at Gun Bay. So if you haven't seen our previous videos, we were on a 7-day Southern Caribbean cruise from San Juan, Puerto Rico. And this was our first time on Virgin Voyages, and we were excited about the food. So we've talked about all of the restaurants. So make sure that you go to our other videos and check out our other videos on the other restaurants. So let's start out, let's talk about Gun Bay. So kind of tell me about, like, what were your expectations going in? How was the atmosphere? What was your thoughts?
So Gun Bay is their Korean barbecue offering on the ship. So the two key points you probably want to be mindful of with Gun Bay is one, that it is community seating. What I mean by that is it's 6 to a table, but it may not be with people you know. So
similar to like many hibachi restaurants, on land where you go and you just sit at a table, but this is it's more intimate than that.
Right,
it's
right.
Like 6 people, like you said. They call it a social dining experience.
So that's number one, is that it is community seating in that way. But then the second thing is that it's a very, very festive atmosphere. Gun Bay, we learned, means cheers in Korean, and so it's really just an ode to food and fellowship, and everything. And so it was very lively. It was a little less crowded. This was Friday, because this was on Friday night, so it was the last night of the cruise. So it wasn't maybe as packed as we think it might have been earlier in the week, but it was good.
I do know a lot of people like to do that earlier in the week because they want to meet people that they can see on the ship. We didn't necessarily have that same philosophy. We were thinking it's a way at the end to kind of reflect on the week and just on your way out, like a celebratory kind of last dinner. That was more of our philosophy rather than trying to meet people at the beginning of the week. So I think a lot of people do tend to reserve that at the beginning of the week. So if you probably want more time offerings, probably near the end of your cruising would probably be the best time to go.
Near the end of the schedule. So anyway, so we got there. Now we wound up only having 4 people. One other couple joined us at our table. So it was just the 4 of us. And one thing that they did do, and we'll talk about what we ate here in a second, was that because each person had maybe a different food item that they needed to highlight. For example,
you mean avoid?
Well, I say highlight, meaning after something they couldn't eat or as food sensitivity, avoid, allergy, whatever it may be. Instead, because they designed it for family style dining, meaning that everybody eats off of everything that's cooked. But again, in this case, since each individual had something that they either couldn't eat or whatever, they wound up taking individual orders. For example, with the other couple that joined us, the one person didn't eat shrimp, the other individual didn't eat pork. So to kind of be sensitive and accommodating to their needs.
And for me, I try to avoid dairy and eggs and almonds a little bit too. So
that's how it worked out. So ultimately, everybody ordered their own meal, if you will. We still shared some of the common meats that everybody was going to eat. But
before we get to the food, I want to talk about what they do kind of once everyone is seated to kind of get everybody engaged, in a festive mood, and kind of break the ice because you're sitting there with people you don't know. And it probably, your experience may be determined by the people that are at the table with you. So we had a really good, other couple, very, we were able to, have good conversation. We found we had a lot of commonality, so it was a good experience for us. But you start out with a drinking game. And for those of you that are like, I don't drink like that, I'm not a big drinker, don't worry. What they give you for the alcohol is very light. It's lightweight, and I'm a lightweight when it comes to drinking alcohol. And it was it tastes like a little spiked water, literally. It
wasn't anything.
It's not bad at all. So I'll say, just try it. Don't be scared and be like, I'm not gonna go, or it's not gonna be fun because I'm not a drinker. But it was fun. We did a game called 3, 6, 9. So basically, we went around the circle counting, starting from 1 all the way up, and anytime a number had 3, 6, or 9 in it, you had to clap instead of saying the number. And he tried to make us go faster and faster. So if you said the number, then you had to take the shot,
and then you
were out of the game. So ours went kind of quick because it was just 4 of us, but it was fun. It was cool, and like I said, it was the shot that they gave you. It was like
nothing heavy.
It was nothing heavy at all. It was a Japanese
soju.
I think it's pronounced soju. And I think the particular brand or type was called Jinro, Jinro. So it was fun. It was like a little refreshing drink, and it was fun. And you were like yelling "gun bay, gun bay, gun bay." So like you heard it throughout the night. Everybody kind of saying those things. So that made like a very festive atmosphere. So. So they started everybody out
with, and so we did drinking game, and once we finished with that, then we started, with the food portion of the evening. So they initially brought out an appetizer. We honestly don't remember what it was, because basically it was a dish of kind of 5 different, portions of stuff. There was some seaweed in there. There was some kimchi,
some kind of eggplant, some
type of eggplant dish, and then the other 2, to be honest, I don't recall what they were, but. That is something to just kind of get your palate going.
I tasted a little bit of everything, but there wasn't really anything that I wanted a second.
That was memorable, yeah.
Or that I wanted to go back for a second taste.
Yeah, the eggplant, I'll say probably for me, was the tastiest thing.
Yeah, I think on this cruise I've learned that I don't think I like eggplant. Like I never really had it a lot before, but I tried the eggplant Parmigiana in at Extra Virgin. And I was like, this texture thing. So I think I've come to the conclusion that I don't like eggplant. But I think a cruise is a good chance for you to kind of try to expand your palate a little bit, taste some things, because you're not, the food is included, so it's not like you're paying extra. So just order some extra things and see. But yeah, did you want to go back for a second?
Like I said, maybe the eggplant, but other than that, no.
Okay.
I didn't eat 2 of them, so anyway. So they bring that out to start, and then once they do that, then they actually take your orders, and it's a 3-course menu. So there's a starter, or what they call small bites portion, which is basically kind of like your appetizer, if you will. Then from there, you can choose a rice or stew dish as your, carb. And then the last thing is the grill, which is actually what meats or proteins you want to have, with with whatever you picked previously. So, and again, like I stated earlier, normally they do it family style, so maybe as a group, everybody kind of picks, certain things, and then they just serve it to everybody. But again, because there were certain food limitations that folks, highlighted, each individual, each person, the 4 of us, got to order our own, own courses.
Mm-hmm. So what I did, I went with the idea of, okay, this is something new. Let me just try some things out to see if I like them or not, because it's a good chance to try things out. So I went for now I'm gonna let you guys know, our pronunciations are gonna be terrible, okay? But I'm gonna try, no judgment, okay? Are we here? No judgment. And I'm gonna give you the description. So the first one was bugak, Bugak, which were nori rice crisps. And then I also got the binde tiyak, which was kimchi and mung bean pancake. So I would say both of these options were like mid. It's like they weren't terrible. I was able to eat multiple bites. Neither one had a strong flavor, but both of these were vegan options. So I was just trying to try out on this cruise. I try to try out a lot of the vegan options because I am dairy and egg free. A lot of times I do try to get vegan options to go along with my meat. I still eat meat, okay? So both of those, I didn't hate them, but I wouldn't be like, I want some of that bugak. I don't think I'm gonna say that, but it was pretty good. The bugak, it was like, I think like rice crisp on like seaweed.
Kind of like if you ever seen sushi, like the black wrapping that goes inside the rice, or what they wrap the rice in, which is called nori. That's basically what the Rice Crisps were. So think of it like the dried outer layer of sushi, basically.
Yeah, so it was interesting. I'm glad I tasted it, but I don't know if I would be like, oh, I want to make sure I eat this again. It was a great taste. It was just,
Right. For me, I ordered the dakganjang, which is basically crispy chicken with chili sauce. So basically, think of it if you maybe eat American Chinese, kind of like sesame chicken. So
and I had some of his.
fried cutlets that they dipped battered, sauced, and then sesame seeds, for the garnish. So like, it kind of reminded me of sesame chicken if you ordered it from an American Chinese restaurant. But it was good.
It was good.
It was good. The meat was tender and cooked well. So yeah, I'd say for that. I mean, now granted, that probably something more traditional, like something that you can get back home. But again, my thing is always when I eat in the restaurants, I generally try to go for stuff that's familiar, just because I feel like if they screw up the stuff that's familiar, then I probably won't be too keen on the stuff that's maybe a little more exotic, if you will. So it was good.
And I would say that was my best. That was the best small bite that, and it wasn't even mine, but I had some of his. So that was the best one for me. I would order that again. All right. The next portion or the next part of the meal was either rice, noodles, or stew, and we both got the same thing, which is the bibimbap, which is short grain rice, egg, and mixed vegetable.
Fried rice, fundamentally.
I just got it without the egg. Luckily, the egg was just like, they cooked it as like one, kind of like over easy, I guess. I don't know, but it was just layered on top, and so they were able not to put mine on. But then he came and he mixed it at the table, as long with some sauce. I don't know exactly what that sauce was, but it had like a slight kick to it.
It might remind you of sriracha, maybe a little bit.
It's like a sriracha sauce. So I mean, that was just. I didn't necessarily love it. I wish I would have tasted it without the sauce, because he asked if we want to mix it in, and there was like a little taste of it that I wasn't like the best of, but I still ate it. It was good, but I wasn't like, ooh, I love this rice. I think maybe without the sauce, I would have liked it more. So if I go back, that would be what I would do differently. What did you think about the rice?
Yeah, I mean, it was solid. Again, not much different maybe than fried rice you would have gotten on land somewhere. They did have like the mixed veggies and the egg in it, so I'll say it was solid. I wouldn't. It wasn't like, ooh, this is the best rice I've ever had. Like I said, to be honest, it's probably no better or worse than fried rice that you will get from Asian restaurants on land. So.
And then the last thing was the barbecue grill, and I got the kalbi, which was the marinated beef short ribs, and it was cooked medium.
I think so, yeah.
And to mind you, with this, the barbecue grill, what you get on that is cooked right in front of you. So the server comes and cooks it. So I know in some Korean barbecue places, like, you have to cook it yourself. Like, they bring you the meat and you cook it. In this case, you don't have to do the work. The server does the work. I guess server/chef. He does the work, he or she, for you. So they cooked it in front of us. So it kind of reminded me, like, I know many people are more familiar with like hibachi style, where your food is coming like in at different pace. Like, we already had the rice, we had our starters, but then he was just cooking the meat. So because of that, you don't realize how much food you get. You just they keep kind of adding more food in your plate, so you're kind of eating it as it comes. So I thought that was a different experience than typical restaurants.
And then I got the chef's combo, or the kalbi. That's about a 30-letter name. So
Samgayu
Pepsalo Modern something.
We don't know how to say it, y'all. Sorry.
Yeah. Look it up. Find Gunbay menu.
We'll try to put the name of it across the bottom.
But it was a chef's combo, so it was the short ribs, similar to what Robin got, but it also included pork belly and shrimp. I will say, probably of the three, the shrimp was probably the best item of the three. The
Nice
pork
and
belly,
juicy.
honestly, I looking back, I think I would have left it off.
You know what? I didn't even taste any of it. It wasn't good?
It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
To me.
I had a piece of shrimp. The shrimp was good.
And the shrimp one was okay. I mean, it was now what I will say too, and also when these are thin strips, particularly of the short rib, like they're cutting them real thin so that they can cook quickly. So the short rib was solid, but if I had to rank the three, I'd definitely put the shrimp first. then I say the short rib and then pork belly last. Like I said, knowing what I know now, if I could have just probably ordered the shrimp and the short rib even, that would have been fine. So,
But I think that was, the meat is of all three things, that was what I enjoyed the most about the meal, including your chicken that you had for the starter. But
Yeah.
then everything on the barbecue grill, the beef short ribs had a good taste. So I did enjoy that.
yeah, so that was it. And so then we ended the evening with dessert. And so they do soft serve options. So you can either have a mango flavor soft serve, a matcha green tea, or you can have them swirled where you can get it together.
Before, let's talk about the most important thing about the soft serve.
And they're all vegan.
Yes,
So-
it's vegan. They use soy milk for the
Base.
soft serve, for the base. So I was able to get it, and I was so excited because all week long there is another restaurant. Well, not a restaurant. There's an eatery on board where you can get ice cream every day, and they every day they have at least one flavor that is vegan. But every day it was like a sorbet, like it was like a fruity kind of ice cream, or even more like was it supposed to be like a gelato sorbet,
Kind of, yeah,
something?
well,
But they never had a creamy, and I kept saying, I want a creamy ice cream. Like I want a creamy vegan ice cream, which a lot of ice cream places have, like ice cream parlors have good creamy options. So that was the one thing that I was a little disappointed about. I feel like overall, all of the vegan options were amazing as far as dessert, but I was disappointed with the ice cream. I love that they had the different flavors every day, but I wanted it creamy, so I was really happy to get the soft serve. And I'm a big matcha green tea fan anyway. I drink the tea regularly. I do a latte regularly, so I just did the swirl, the mango and the matcha green tea swirl, and it was solid. I think for me, I was just so excited that it was a creamy ice cream. I was like, if I would have known that, I would have been going to Gumbay all week and be like, can I just get some ice cream to go, please? I don't know if they would did that. I'm sure they probably would have. But next time I know, like next time I go, instead of going to the ice cream spot, was it Lick Me
to ice cream.
Lick Me to ice cream? Instead of going there, I'm gonna go to Gumbay and be like, can I get that soft serve swirl? So,
And then I got the mango just plain.
You already